are now hearing from the aunt of those 13 kids police say were tortured by their parents in their California home. The kids were all malnourished and found in just horrible conditions. Well, the aunt is saying that she had little contact with her sister over the years, and she had an emotional message for her sister as well as for her nieces and nephews.
I want her to know that she's still my blood and I love her. I don't agree with what she did, but mainly I want to reach out to the kids. I want them to know that years we begged to Skype them, we begged to see them.
That interview was on Good Morning America today. Now tomorrow, David and Louise Turpin, they're going to appear before a judge for a hearing.
Well, as Congress works to hammer out a deal to stop the government shutdown, Republican Senator Jeff Flake took to the Senate floor this morning to condemn President Trump's frequent attacks on the news media. Flake, a frequent Trump critic, has announced that he will not be seeking re-election this year. The Arizona Republican told lawmakers that last year saw the truth, quote, more battered and abused than any other time in U.S. history.
The enemy of the people was how the President of the United States called the free press in 2017. Mr. President, it is a testament to the condition of our democracy that our own president uses words infamously spoken by Joseph Stalin to describe his enemies.
Well, Flake has said that he will use his remaining Senate time to speak out against Trump when it's warranted. Well, this midday, we are learning that Steve Bannon has struck a deal with special counsel Robert Mueller's team to be interviewed by prosecutors instead of testifying before a grand jury. That's according to two people familiar with the process who told CNN Bannon is expected to cooperate with the special counsel. A spokesman for the special counsel's office declined to comment. Yesterday, Bannon met with the House Intelligence Committee and refused to answer any questions.
Well, back here at home overnight, the state slamming the results of a new report that ranks Nevada schools as the worst in the nation. Education Week's 2018 Quality Counts ranking have given our schools a D grade. Now, the survey is based on student achievement, chance for success, as well as money spent on schooling. But right now, the state is pushing back, claiming this report does not take into account more money that's being put into the education system, a graduation rate of over 80%, and new programs aimed at helping kids find good jobs. We're going to put up a link here to this report on our website at ktnv.com so you can see the results for yourself. Well, now to a crime alert. Police are once again on the hunt for a casino bandit. The latest target, the SLS. Well, last week, you might remember, New York, Harrah's, as well as another casino that police would not disclose. They were all hit. Well, all the thieves made off with cash or casino chips. Now, in half of the crimes, the suspects were armed, and 13 Action News crime and safety expert Randy Sutton says that these crimes are on the rise because the criminals believe casinos are low-risk targets.
These guys that are going in aren't feeling like there's going to be consequences for their actions. They're not going to be facing down armed security.
All right, well, if you'd like to take a closer look at some of the people who police believe they are after right now, we do have some of those images posted on our website at ktnv.com. Well, in the meantime, pot dispensaries here in Nevada are just one step closer to starting home deliveries.
Yeah, state regulators gave retailers the green light yesterday. The rules still need to be approved by one more group of lawmakers. If that happens, dispensaries could deliver up to 1 ounce of pot or pot products to homes. Deliveries to hotels and casinos, though, are not allowed, so don't get any ideas.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen or heard about that happening in any other state in the country. It'd be interesting to know if that does pass.
Yeah.
All right, well, still to come here on Midday. Police right now, they are investigating the tragic death of a Washington State University football player.
Plus, how the winter weather is taking its toll on travel across the country.
Dry the next couple of days. Wanted to give you a first alert about the potential for a couple of evening showers on Friday. Not expecting any moisture until after dark Friday, but Friday night through Saturday morning, these sprinkles, maybe even some snowflakes. We'll talk about where they're most likely and a big temperature drop next with the 7-day planner.
Welcome back. Right now, police are investigating the tragic death of a Washington State University football player. Quarterback Tyler Helinski was found dead in his apartment Tuesday afternoon, along with a note. Now, authorities are investigating it as a suicide. The sophomore played in 8 games last season, and he started in the Holiday Bowl, throwing 2 touchdowns and also racking up more than 200 yards. Alinsky was just 21 years old.
9 arrest warrants were issued yesterday in the 2017 hazing death of a Florida State University fraternity pledge. 20-year-old Andrew Coffey died of alcohol poisoning in November at an off-campus Pi Kappa Phi party. Well, his blood alcohol level was more than 5 times the legal driving limit. The 9 people believed to be involved in his death incident are facing a felony college hazing charge. They are all between 20 and 22 years old.
A lot of sadness with both of those stories. You certainly feel for their parents and
Definitely.
their extended family. All right, we're still to come here on Midday. Victims of those deadly mudslides in California have now filed their first lawsuit. Who they say is to blame for the tragedy.
Plus, more victims speaking out as the sentencing in the sex abuse trial against former USA gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar continues.
Well, it is day 2 now of the sentencing. It's underway in the sex abuse trial against former USA gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar. Yesterday, 28 of his victims confronted him. Many detailed their really emotional experiences with him. More than 140 female athletes, including several Olympic gold medalists, have now accused Nassar of sexually abusing them through the years. And today, more victims getting the chance to confront him.
I imagine hitting you if I ever had the opportunity to see you again. Instead, I'll allow my thoughts and my feelings to hit your heart.
You actually are not a real doctor. You're not a doctor at all. You're a serial child molester, a pedophile.
Well, just absolutely courageous testimony happening today and yesterday. Now, a judge has set aside several days for all of the victims who want to be able to give their impact statements. So that leads us to this next story. And right now, People magazine is reporting that USA Gymnastics will not fine Olympian Michaela Maroney if she decides to speak at the sentencing. She came out and said that she too was a victim of Nassar. Now, she signed a non-disclosure agreement as part of a settlement with USA Gymnastics over Nassar's abuse, and that agreement subjected her to the possibility of a $100,000 fine if she violated that agreement. But the organization is now saying it will not seek a fine if Maroney does decide to speak out or shares a statement regarding her abuse.
Well, a former CIA officer is now facing up to 10 years in prison. Jerry Chun-Shing Lee was arrested on Monday at New York's JFK airport. The Justice Department alleges Lee, a 13-year veteran of the CIA, had small notebooks that contained classified information like the real names of covert agency workers. Well, government officials say that the information Lee had could cause exceptionally grave danger to the national security of the U.S. The 53-year-old Lee didn't enter a plea during his first court appearance. Well, the first lawsuit connected to those deadly mudslides in California has been filed. The lawsuit names a utility company and water district. It claims the utility company is to blame for the Thomas fire, which caused vegetation to become vulnerable to a mudslide when it rained. The lawsuit also says water mains failed the day that the slides hit.
Delivered millions of gallons of water to add to the flow that then began to rush down those canyons.
Well, entire neighborhoods were destroyed by last week's disaster. Many people who were evacuated still cannot return home. The 3 people remain missing, and 3 people remain missing, I should say.
And right now, look at this. Parts of the country are dealing with this extreme winter weather. We're talking about an enormous system that stretches from Texas all the way on up to Maine. You got dangerous driving conditions really taking a toll there. Here you see some of those accidents. Well, overnight, highways backed up for miles and entire interstates now shut down as several places turned into a deep freeze. And speaking of deep freezes, the weather also taking its toll on travel. This right here is Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. This is in Georgia. The weather has caused long delays. You can see the tarmac there just covered in snow and ice. And Justin, you were saying a lot of these states like Georgia, Texas, at least the southern part of Texas too, they don't have the equipment to deal with this, so they just got to kind of wait until the weather improves.
Yeah, they might have 50 snowplows, but not 500 snowplows.
Right.
Yes.
And Atlanta, I mean, that's the country's busiest airport by a number of travelers who go through, so that probably has implications at other airports as well. Here's a look at the radar. 13-1 desert Doppler on the East Coast. All that purple you see stretched from Boston to New York all the way down to Raleigh, North Carolina. Fairly quiet weather across the middle of the country, just super cold. It was 8 degrees in Hattiesburg, Mississippi this morning. And our next storm system is approaching the Pacific Northwest. You see the counterclockwise swirl. I mention that because that eventually is part of what's going to drive our wind and then our cool down Friday into the weekend and even deliver the small chance of a few showers. For the next couple of days, though, it's all good. Temperatures in the mid-60s today, tomorrow, and even Friday. Look at that big 10-degree drop, though. By your weekend, high temperatures in the 50s, highs in the 50s, and that's going to be the case Saturday into Sunday. The winds will start to gust to 45 miles per hour Friday afternoon. I think into Friday night, still similarly strong gusts, and then Saturday behind a cold front, they'll switch to the north and still blow up to about 35 miles per hour. Highs in the 50s, winds of 30-plus miles per hour. Doing anything outside on Saturday does not sound like it's going to be a whole lot of fun. If it's anything you can reschedule or do inside, you may want to think about that. We're not looking at a lot of moisture with this system. This is 10 p.m. Friday. Most of the showers kind of passing to our north will have the potential Friday evening, Friday night for a stray rain shower here in the Las Vegas Valley. And this is interesting, Saturday morning, enough cold air aloft that we'll have a few snow showers in the mountains. There might be a snowflake mixed in with our sprinkles Saturday morning in some of the neighborhoods around Summerlin, where the elevation is up by 3,000 feet. But I really think that for the rest of the valley, just a few sprinkles, mainly Saturday morning. I think most of this moisture pulls out of here by Saturday, midday, Saturday afternoon. And both of our two main computer models are saying, hey, slow down, not that much moisture to worry about, less than 1/10 of an inch. So it's not going to be a big deal, however you slice it Friday into Friday night and Saturday morning. Here's the satellite loop on this Wednesday. A few high clouds sneaking in later on today into this evening. We'll enjoy some sunshine over the next few hours, and that'll boost us from 60 right now up to 66 for our high here in Las Vegas. Looks nice outside. Feels pretty good. The winds are going to stay on the calm side, and high temperatures will happen between 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. So quiet weather continues over the next couple of days. By Friday, though, that wind is going to be strong. A few showers late Friday into early Saturday. Still windy and much colder Saturday into Sunday. By the way, on Sunday, we're going to wake up to 30s in the morning. That's the coldest weather we've seen since last month, and we'll keep 30s going into early next week, Monday morning. Dana and Todd looks like highs in the 50s once they show up this weekend. We'll stick around through at least the middle of next week.